Trump is emotionally invested. He is furious and is now criticizing not just Jimmy Kimmel, but also the 6 Democrats who allegedly told the military that they ought to be put to death. Some of those Democrats have responded to me. I have those texts, and I'm thinking about them. First, this is what Donald Trump told Jimmy Kimmel yesterday. Why does ABC fake news keep Kimmel, a man with no talent and very low television ratings, on the air? He asked. Why do the TV syndicates tolerate it? Completely biased coverage as well. Take the jerk off the air. All right, in my opinion, this is merely a distraction. We will continue to discuss it, but we won't focus on it because Donald Trump wants us to avoid discussing the release of the Epstein files. All of this, in my opinion, is a major diversion until Donald Trump starts putting people on trial. Although I'm not overly concerned about it, I find it unsettling that the U.S. president has chosen to behave in this manner. Before we move on to the responses, I would like to show you what the senator posted, which caused quite a stir. For those who are unaware, this straightforward message to the military has caused Fox News and a large portion of the right-wing media ecosystem to panic, and it's right here.
Senator Mark Kelly.
Representative Chris Deluzio.
Congresswoman Maggie Goodlander.
Representative Chrissy Houlihan.
Congressman Jason Crow.
I was a captain in the United States Navy.
Former CIA officer.
Former Navy.
Former paratrooper and Army Ranger.
Former intelligence officer.
Former Air Force.
We want to speak directly to members of the military
and the intelligence community
who take risks each day
to keep Americans safe.
We know you are under enormous stress and pressure right now.
Americans trust their military.
But that trust is at risk.
This administration is pitting our uniformed military
and intelligence community professionals
against American citizens.
Like us. You all swore an oath
to protect and defend this Constitution.
Right now, the threats to our Constitution aren't just coming from abroad,
but from right here at home.
Our laws are clear. You can refuse illegal orders.
You can refuse illegal orders.
You must refuse illegal orders.
No one has to carry out orders that violate the law
or our Constitution.
We know this is hard
and that it's a difficult time to be a public servant.
But whether you're serving in the CIA,
the Army,
or Navy,
the Air Force,
your vigilance is critical.
And know that we have your back.
Because now, more than ever,
the American people need you.
We need you to stand up for our laws,
our Constitution,
and who we are as Americans. Don't give up.
Don't give up.
Don't give up.
Don't give up the ship.
All right, first of all, it makes sense to me that the military cannot actually obey unlawful commands. They swear allegiance to the Constitution rather than the president. In this day and age, I believe it's good that they are reminded that Donald Trump will eventually lose his position of authority, and if these military personnel violate the law, they will face consequences. Therefore, I believe that the reminder was an excellent idea. Donald Trump is now really upset about this. He became terrified. He's like a baby, really. On his blog, True Social, he was reposting. He began by saying seditious behavior punishable by death. Give me a break, please. All right, this is really bad and dangerous to our country, he added. It was impossible to let their word stand. Treacherous actions by betrayers. Put them in jail. President DJT. He then retweeted many people who had said things like, indict them all. Another person remarked, hang them, George Washington would. And I am somewhat similar to the first. I just believe that there are 2 ways to react to this. Firstly, I believe that many people want to act as though the President of the United States is a rational human being who is thinking rationally. That isn't true. I mean, I suppose this could make you angry. I decide to simply interpret this as an elderly man who is aware that he is crumbling. If the data is correct, his mind is disintegrating into dust, and he is losing control over both his body and his thoughts. He's merely lashing out, in my opinion. This is one way he's losing control of himself and his party, which is why he's lashing out. I just don't feel angry about it. I simply believe that it is someone who is clearly losing right now. This person is not acting with strength. Here's what Elissa Slotkin said in response to this a short while ago.
Elissa Slotkin, senator from Michigan, former CIA officer. Earlier today, President Trump threatened myself and a number of other service and veteran lawmakers with arrest, trial, and death because he didn't agree with a video we put out this week. This really isn't about those of us who made the video. This is about who we are as Americans and how we're going to engage with people who we disagree with. I would hope that people of all backgrounds, Democrat, Republican, Independent, would agree that threatening death for people you disagree with is beyond the pale of who we are as Americans. I love this country. It has given me everything, everything. And I refuse to believe that this is the new normal. I refuse to believe that we're going to use fear and intimidation against people we disagree with. And I'm not going to be forced away from speaking up on behalf of my country. I swore an oath to the Constitution many times, most recently less than a year ago as a senator. To the Constitution, not to any one man, not to any one president. And I abide by that oath. For me, I believe in the power of this country and that we are better than our current politics represent. And I refuse to be intimidated out of defending the country I love.
That's a valid point. That's a valid point. It was a good thing for her to say that, in my opinion. We also had, I think, Jason Crow, who was pressured about this by Fox News, and he sort of gave her something.
So we're standing by our troops, our service members, who are often put in very difficult positions, and Donald Trump has put them in very difficult positions and has alluded to putting them in even more difficult positions in the months and years ahead. So we are reminding folks about what the Uniform Code of Military Justice says, what the Constitution says, what the law of war says. You know, this is really no different than what I did with my infantry platoon in advance of deploying to Iraq in 2003. I trained these young soldiers on their obligation to comply with the law of war, to comply with the Constitution, and what is a lawful versus a unlawful order.
In fact, Mike Johnson was questioned about this, and he fled with the quickness, as this elderly Louisiana queen often does.
Speaker, how you doing? The president posted that Democrats who urge service members to not follow illegal orders should be punished. It should be seditious, conspiracy, and punishable by death. Do you have any response to that?
Look, I know the DOJ and the Pentagon are looking into the legality of all that, but what I can address is what everybody knows. That was wildly inappropriate. It is very dangerous. You have leading members of Congress telling troops to disobey orders. I think that's unprecedented in American history. And as the father of a young man who is, at the Naval Academy, going to be joining the service, I know young soldiers, airmen, sailors, they don't need that kind of nonsense from people in Congress. It is very dangerous.
But punishable by death. I'm going to
let others define what it is.
God, what a tiny... I suppose I have a question for you now. This video gives the impression that they were saying something other than, hey, they were just saying, just FYI, you're not allowed to follow legal orders. I believe that having a reminder is beneficial. They weren't arguing that you couldn't obey commands, though. They simply state that you are not permitted to obey unlawful commands. You are expected to abide by the Constitution. It serves as a useful reminder, in my opinion. Additionally, the fact that it infuriated everyone else gave me the impression that they were acting morally. All right, Karoline Leavitt is currently in the midst of a news conference. She's being questioned about a lot of things, and I will bring it to you in a moment. So please keep an eye out for that. I wanted to present that to you. Try this new feature where we have a response screen, and let me know what you think of these new breaking news times. If you enjoy it, let me know, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye.